Start tonight with a controversial topic really across the state. Keep in mind, on Monday, Governor Gavin Newsome signed a new law that prevents school districts from outing students to parents. He was sued the next day. ABC 10's Devin Truby is live at the state capitol with the very latest tonight. Devin.
Chris, the new law the governor signed doesn't go into effect until January, but that's why the law firm says the arguments need to happen now. Meanwhile, advocates are concerned this is going to cause yet another tumultuous school year as some students are headed back to the classroom in less than a month. A divisive issue packing school board meetings across the state, including at Rockland Unified and Dry Creek Joint Elementary School District. Assembly Bill 1955 is against parental notification policies stating schools must notify parents if their child wishes to change their gender identity at school. Newsome signed 1955, the Safety Act, Monday, banning schools from outing students to their parents. The Chino Valley Unified School District and 8 families sued him for it the next day.
Parents have the right to direct the upbringing and education of their children. Parents have the right to make decisions for their children. It violates the First Amendment free exercise clause in that, our parent plaintiffs are Christian and they are raising their children Christian, and their religion says that gender is immutable.
Emily Ray is an attorney with the Liberty Justice Center. She's arguing the law violates the First and 14th Amendments, but also FERPA, which gives parents certain rights to school records. Bill author Assemblymember Chris Ward argues, what about the 4th Amendment, the student's right to privacy?
This absolutely harms youth. It sets them back. As somebody who is myself had to go through the coming out process, it's very personal.
His bill goes into effect in January. It stops districts from enacting so-called outing policies, provides resources to students and parents, and prevents retaliation to staff.
It still does allow for situations where, as mandated reporters, if you're seeing that a student is having a declining experience, it doesn't prohibit the disclosure of information. It prohibits requiring all teachers to forcibly out students if they hear some of this hearsay, and that's an important distinction.
Christy Hurst is a mom of 3 children in the district suing Newsome. She says she's watched her district spend $1 million in legal fees on this fight, but she also represents thousands of kids and their families across the U.S. with Our Schools USA.
You do have students who are not safe to go home and tell their families, and schools cannot be successful if students do not feel safe.
The Safety Act does not prohibit teachers from sharing gender identity information with parents. It just makes it so they aren't required to, giving teachers discretion.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video clip I just showed you came out about 5 days ago. And there's another clip that I'm going to show you that came out 2 days ago, right after this. So what you have here is that snake of a man, Gavin Newsome in California, okay, passing a bill, not today, Monday, last week, Monday, I believe it was, that basically gives teachers the right, okay, to, if I had to guess, okay, to basically put whatever they want in people's kids' heads, okay, no matter how they try to spin it, especially how that man just came out and said that it doesn't stop the teacher from, it doesn't stop the parents from finding out what's going on, but for lack of a better, way of them phrasing it, what they're basically saying is that if a parent comes to a teacher asking questions, the teacher doesn't have to give the parent any answers. That's basically what it boils down to, which means that, in a nutshell, your kids are endangered. These teachers will pretty much have whatever say-so that they want if you just, if you read the fine print, if you read between the lines, and they can have any kind of discussions that they want, okay? Mind you, adults having these kinds of conversations with children, and the parents don't need to know, okay? I'll never understand, and I'm gonna go back a little bit on the video, okay, just so people can see something over here, and this is what really bothers me. It really does. This picture right here bothers me. You know, I'll never, you know, women tend to be more accepting when it comes to a lot of things, okay? And that's not a bad thing. It's really not. I mean, women, they're more nurturing, they're more understanding, they're willing to to listen more, okay? And try to, you know, find out what's going on. What I find totally disgusting, and I'll say it and I'll keep saying it no matter what. If you're an adult and you have a sexual preference, that's on you. Okay, but when you got men, grown-ass men like this sloppy ass, I'm sorry, is just the way I see it. You got this fat sloppy dude here, you got this other dude here, they're all carrying these flags, and it's like, why do you grown-ass men care what little kids think or how they feel? Okay, you know, you want to be gay, be gay. Be as gay as you want. But when you feel the need that you need to sit in a school board meeting, okay, advocating, okay, for children to be sexualized in school, and that the parents should have no say so, that the parents, you know, can literally be left in the dark, because if you look at the way that guy was wording it, that's basically what it is. They're going to be left in the dark no matter what. Okay? Because if anybody knows, in California, they're so damn liberal and woke, they're not going to, I mean, you're going to have some good teachers that will answer parents' questions, but for the majority of the teachers that are teaching out there, that's why the school systems are so screwed up, that's why there's so many kids that are so screwed up in the head, they're not going to tell the parents what they want. They're not. A parent's going to come and say, listen, you know, this, and this, and I heard, and the teacher's basically going to say, because Gavin Newsome just gave him that power, I'm not at liberty to discuss that matter with you. That's basically what they're going to be using terms like that. I mean, this is just a given. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, okay, or a damn psychic to see how this is going to play out. Okay? And once again, he's going to do it, okay, knowing that, you know what, California is not one-sided. California is, gay people are not the majority in California. Okay? This whole push and the fear-mongering to say that kids are not going to be safe at home if they want to, you know, come out and say how they feel. They make it seem as if the children's lives are literally in physical danger, as if their parents don't love them. Okay? Parents generally love their children regardless, but parents also do have a right, okay, to raise their child the way they want to. But yet here we go, once again, that snake of a man is pandering and giving the transgender community what they want, and basically telling Christian parents and straight parents, even if you're not Christian, just telling straight parents that want to raise their children straight, well, I'm passing this law, and, you know, if anything happens in the school, it's basically, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And once again, the left and the Democrats wonder why so many people are against them. It's horrible. It's disgusting. But before I continue finishing this video and get to the next video, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. You guys have been fantastic, getting a lot of comments. I know I've been a lot busy. I do want to apologize to a few people who have joined me on Instagram. I didn't get on there that much. I finally went on, and I see at least 20 of you joined me on Instagram. Thank you so much. I'm trying to do all kinds of things with all these different platforms without being overwhelmed. But also, if you want to help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store, Patreon.com. So with all that being said, you know, I can't understand, you know, this wickedness, this evilness that these people want to keep spreading, okay? And the backlash came so quickly, and it's not over. And I'll show you in an article, so give me some time because it's a little lengthy, but everybody knows how I try to, do my videos. Gavin Newsom truly thinks that what he's doing is for the betterment of society, and it's not. You're talking about pandering and catering to a small community, and at this rate, in all honesty, they keep saying follow the science. There are so many professionals out there that are coming out and saying, and as a matter of fact, I think I did a video on this a few months ago, where they're saying that this whole transgender thing, it's not normal. It has become more of a fad. Okay? They said it's impossible for so many people, especially children, to have whatever it is inside of them to start going down this road. And it's because it's the indoctrination in the schools. Okay? It's the indoctrination by politicians. I mean, it is just a non-stop demonic movement, okay, that they want to keep pushing. And they know how to do it. They know how to get through the kids. They're after the kids. Okay? But remember, stay vigilant, because it's not over. There are people fighting back, and I'll show you later on in the video what's going on. But with that being said, let's finish off on this one, jump to the next video. It's only a couple of minutes, and I'm going to read the article because Newsome got some major backlash as of recent, I believe as of today, if I'm correct, but here we go.
The firm says there is still time for other school districts to join the lawsuit if they wanted to. We reached out to Rockland Unified but did not hear back. We did connect with a Dry Creek Board of Trustee member. They sent us to the communications office where we did not hear back. Reporting live from the Capitol, Devin Truby, ABC 10.
Again.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, this is, for lack of a better term, this has become a major clusterfuck. Okay, and these Democrats, these leftists, these people pushing this agenda, they are causing so much division and chaos, and they are going, they're making it seem as if, it's okay. More and more people, more and more parents are fighting back. They're fed up. They're fed up with it. It's like every time you push back, they come back 10 times harder. This movement that these people are pushing, these grown-ups are pushing on these children, is just straight up evil. I don't care what anybody says. It is straight up evil. Okay? No child, nobody, not one person is born gay. Plain and simple. Okay, because if people on the left could say that people are born racist, okay, and it's like, wait a minute, what do you mean they're born racist? Aren't they taught that? Oh yeah, that's what I meant. They're taught to be racist at home. So the same has to go for this transgender movement. Okay? Nobody's born racist and nobody's born gay. But let's continue to the next video. Here we go.
The final straw for Elon Musk. California Governor Gavin Newsom just signed a law removing parental rights from schools. And now Musk says he's moving SpaceX headquarters to Texas, quote, because of this law and the many others that preceded it, attacking both families and companies. The law signed by Newsom prevents schools from notifying parents if students use different pronouns or identify as a different gender than what is listed in school enrollment records. They called it the Safety Act, but instead they should call it the Preventing Parental Rights Act.
Exactly.
1 month ago, when the bill passed the California State Senate, Senator Jim Patterson explained why he opposed it.
I have never seen an effort to damage the relationship between children and their parents like this one.
Folks, we need to put a stop to laws like this. Parents, not the government, have God-given authority over their children.
Exactly.
The only time the state should get involved is if a child is in danger or knowingly abused. The new law is another example of California rushing down the slippery slope of woke destruction. How many more companies and residents will move out of California because of laws like this? California is facing a $68 billion budget deficit because of declining revenues. The Golden State fuel and state income tax rates are among the highest in the country. And now a $20 per hour minimum wage that's forced the closure of businesses like Rubio's Coastal Grill. The Golden State is no longer a business-friendly or family-friendly environment. In 1992, political advisor James Carville said, "It's the economy, stupid." Today, he's critical of Joe Biden's messaging.
If you're 26 years old, you have no hope of buying a house, of educating children. Yeah, you're probably living in the basement with your sister and your mother and daddy's house. And when President Biden tells how good the economy is, the reaction is, what's that guy talking about?
Yes, the culture war is important, but it's the economy that will influence the vote in November. People need hope. So let's not forget, our only true hope lies not in politicians, but in Jesus Christ.
And I'll say amen on that. Okay? And as far as that guy, whatever his name was, Carver, whatever, he's another two-faced snake. 1 minute he's bashing Trump, and now he's over here talking about Biden's economy. What are you talking about? Why? Because you know you're losing? So now you're going to backtrack and you're going to start pussyfooting around the bush, making it seem as if, oh, now you care? You don't care. You're part of that problem. Okay? That's why so many districts in Louisiana are so messed up, because the people like you are in there. Okay? Now he's going to come out and start, oh, well, you know what? I don't know. What's Joe Biden talking about? You knew what the hell he's been talking about. I mean, if anybody could understand him. But you knew what was going on. You know how all this works. You know how your leftist, democratic, socialist, communist party works. Don't try to play a fool. Don't try to make it seem like, oh, you're all of a sudden you're on the side of right. It's only because you know you're losing votes. Yeah, and you're losing them because 1, the economy, 2, you're breaking up the nuclear family, 3, you're going after the children, 4, I mean, and the most important, you're pulling God out the equation at every turn. Don't start BSing. People have already seen through this. That's why the Democratic Party is self-destructing. And it doesn't have to be like that, but that's how they choose it. Okay? They bred that baby, they raised that baby, they fed it, now it's gone into a beast. And people are fighting back against that beast. Now I'm going to show you who else is pushing back in the next article against Newsome. I'm gonna look it up, but I'm gonna try to read through it as fast as we can so I can get to the next story about what's going on in North Carolina. There's a big ray of hope going on in North Carolina, and I'm very glad. But here we go. It says right here, instant backlash: Southern California district sues over Newsome's new gender law. It says the Chino Valley Unified School District in Southern California has launched a lawsuit against Governor Gavin Newsom. They're challenging a new law that prevents school districts from notifying parents if their child changes their gender identity. The district argues this infringes on parents' constitutional rights. School officials do not have the right to keep secrets from parents, but parents do have a constitutional right to know what their minor children are doing at school. And it's true. Okay? Plain and simple. States Emily Ray, the lawyer for the district. This lawsuit highlights a significant clash over the balance between student privacy and parental rights. Governor Newsom's spokesperson, Izzy Garden, criticized the lawsuit as deeply unserious, defending the law's aim to preserve the child-parent relationship. How in the hell is that trying to preserve the child-parent relationship if you just heard what the guy said in the last video clip, that the teachers have the discretion to either tell the parent what they want to hear or what they, in other words, if the parent comes and says, listen, I need to find out some answers, they're leaving it up to the teachers, up to their discretion to say yes or no to the parent. Okay? So for this woman to come out and say this, that the law that's passing is going to preserve the child-parent relationship, is going to, like, in other words, to strengthen it, you're speaking out of your ass. You know it's a lie. Okay? It's a straight up damn lie. You're trying to keep the secrets from the parents. That's what it is. Newsome's office remains confident that the state will prevail against these legal challenges. You know, that right there in itself, that he's over here saying, you know, the state is going to win this, is like, this man is such a bombastic snake that for him to even make a statement like that, it's like, how can you look at every single parent, okay, knowing that only a small portion of them want this, but think that by you coming out and say, well, we know the state's going to win this, you're basically spitting in the face of parents that have major concerns about this. Okay? I tell you, man, these politicians, like I said, you know, in my opinion, they're like demons among us. Plain and simple. Okay? And what really kills me is that I believe this man is a parent himself. And I wonder how he would feel, okay, if he found out that some grown-up that he did not give consent to is having conversations, and secret conversations, behind his back with his children, and if he goes and says, what do you guys talk about, and that person comes out and says, I'm not at liberty to tell you. I wonder how he would feel about that. Something tells me that he would not like it. But let's continue. The heart of the controversy lies in whether schools should have the ability to keep a student's gender identity confidential. The new law mandates that such information can only be disclosed with the student's consent, barring a few exceptions. And then you know, it's like you're giving the kids more power over their parents. This whole thing just reeks of red flags. To come out and say, you know what? Your child may not be 18 years old and has to, you know, still lives in your house, has to live under your rules, but when they come to our facility, okay, when they come to our den of vipers, we're the ones that are in charge. We give them power to basically tell you, the parent, screw you. Unbelievable. The California Department of Education has been directed to develop resources to assist families of the Alphabet Mafia students. This initiative is part of the broader law designed to facilitate open and informed discussion on sensitive topics related to gender identity among family members. But how can you come out and say that if you're keeping it a secret against the parents? No, what this basically is that these sick and twisted, perverted adults in the schools are going to have a field day with everybody's children. They're going to put so much indoctrination into their heads. I mean, just the thought of it, of how they're going to go about this, is sickening. But let's continue. Alphabet Mafia advocacy groups have praised the law. Of course they would. With Equality, California's Tony Hoeing, I guess his name is, saying it strengthens protections for the Alphabet Mafia youth against forced outing policies. You know, I love the trigger words that these people use. You know, they're the first ones to say their words, okay, are damaging. Their words are violent. But they always use words, okay, to put more fear into the conversation. Forced outing policies. Excuse me, but if a parent walks into their child's room and says, what are you doing? You're damn straight that child better answer and tell their parents what the hell they're doing. Okay? It's not about forced outing or anything like that. If a parent wants to raise their child straight, that is their child. That is the way to do it. If your child grows up later on and decides, you know what, it's not for me, then that's a whole different topic. But to make it seem that this is so, that, you know, this is so great, and once again, for a man, okay, to feel so gleeful about this, it to me is just perversion. You should not be happy, and especially as a grown-ass man, that a child is coming up to you saying, guess what, I'm gay, I'm coming out the closet, or whatever the case is, and you find that to be joyous? Really? God help us. This report contrasts sharply with opponents who argue it undermines parental rights, and it does. Critics like Jonathan Keller from the California Family Council argue that the law undermines their fundamental role and places boys and girls in potential jeopardy, and it does. These concerns reflect a deep division on how best to balance rights and responsibilities in schools. The controversy has even caught the attention of billionaire Elon Musk. Musk cited the new law as a reason for moving SpaceX and social media platform X's headquarters to Texas from California, signaling the broader implications of state policies on business decisions. You know, it's not surprising that the powers that be in California would keep doing these things, and all these businesses are leaving, and they don't care. They don't care. Okay, they don't care who gets hurt economically, and they don't care who gets hurt mentally, emotionally, physically, because to them, the broader picture is basically just an agenda of perversion. Okay? And to them, that is worth any amount of money. And that's why I say that all this is just wicked and evil. They don't care who gets hurt. They don't care which families break up. They just don't care. Okay? And I've said it once, I'll say it again. It is so ironic that Gavin Newsome had tried to put up, I believe he was trying to put up billboards and put out commercials. He actually put out one commercial trying to make it seem that California was better than Florida, that people should move out of Florida and move to California. And it's like, really? You think so? You want people to leave a vestibule of freedom and go and move into a snake pit? Nah, that's not how it works, brother. Definitely not. This lawsuit is part of a broader national discussion about the rights of transgender students and parental rights in education. The issue is becoming increasingly prominent as different states adopt varying policies on student privacy and parental notification. You know, and if I had to guess, in all honesty, it's definitely all the blue states, because there are some schools in Florida that are trying to hide this stuff, and Ron DeSantis is just laying the hammer straight down. He's laying it down, and he's like, nope, you're not going to do that. You know, where you got the leftists and you got the Democrats in Florida that they're trying to scream the loudest, and it's like, you can scream as much as you want. Our freedom screams louder than you. Plain and simple. And you're not going to wind up bringing your draconian, demented mindset and agenda into our free space. Never mind, fuck your safe space, our free space. Okay? Now, I'm not going to finish reading the article because it's 24 pages long. So that's a lot. But if you want to go online, it's a story written by Georgia McCoy, again by Savvy Dime. What I want to show you next is how all this could be avoided if people stand together and do the right thing. Okay? And like I said, there is hope. Okay? And it just takes people sticking together, and it takes the right people running the school system, because the school system is ground zero to indoctrination. Okay? And when I read this article, I came across it, I mean, I was just, I was like, finally, somebody's going to come out here and do the right thing. So this was put out by Afrotech. It says North Carolina University system bans all DEI programs at public institutions, forcing layoffs and cutting all related funding. Hallelujah. Here we go. It says the merry-go-round is meant to spin a person into a euphoric experience, going into a repetitive motion until they reach peak joy. Although this concept is fun for many children, the proverbial merry-go-round of life is much less enjoyable in adulthood. The consisting pulling back of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives feels just like that. A repetitive cycle of the same thing, wondering when it will all end. The latest announcements of organizations rolling back DEI comes out of North Carolina. According to Inside Higher Education, the University of North Carolina, UNC state system, voted to ban DEI policies and offices, passing with a 22-2 vote, people. You see, you got to stick together, because that goes to show you just this margin alone, 22-2. It's not that they have the numbers, okay? It's just that more people are not speaking up, standing together, and fighting back against this bullshit, okay? The ban calls for state institutions to cut funding and eliminate positions related to DEI across the system. Across the system's 16 campuses. In its place, the system will roll out an equality within the university policy that ensures balance across the system, claiming that previous policies did not align with the state system's culture of neutrality. While that language is ambiguous, bullshit, System President Peter Hans says it is a necessary stance of neutrality in politically controversial times. And he's right. Okay? What's going on right now, everything, all these fights that the left are pushing, it's all backed up by politicians and their crooked, wicked, demonic policies. Okay? To the point that all the left is doing is looking for a fight. That's all they're doing. They're pushing these policies. They're trying to get as much as they can. They're trying to indoctrinate people into this mindset, and at the same time, trying to stand there and say, and you can't say nothing about it. And then when you do say something about it, they want to fight. But people band together and they say, no, go kick rocks. It's not going to happen. We're taking it back. It says our public universities must take a stance of principled neutrality on matters of political controversy. It is not the job of the university to decide all the complex and multi-dimensional questions of how to balance and interpret identity. Hahn said at a board meeting per Inside Higher Ed. This policy will preserve the university's role as a trusted venue for that vital debate. And that's what universities are supposed to do. They're supposed to hear from all spectrums, okay? Not just let people go and one day get a bug up their ass and start protesting to free Palestine, and then all of a sudden they're going after their Jewish community. Or if somebody is against abortion, for them to start going after the conservative community. I mean, they talk so much about, you have all these people on the left, all these liberals that say, I was captain or I was princess of my debate team. Well, shit, that must have been a short debate. Because I can't sit there and listen to you leftists just screaming and hollering and yelling all day. Because you're not debating. Okay? You don't want to hear what the other side has to say. You just want it your way. And universities have been the breeding ground for these young adults to go out into society in X amount of years and bring that draconian mindset into society. And thank God that now North Carolina's like, you know what? We got to change it. And it's going to start with abolishing DEI courses and their policies and just kicking them out. Let's continue. Where'd I leave off? Okay, right here. It says schools in the state system, schools in the state system are on a timetable to comply with the new policies based on a report from public radio station WUNC. The educational institutions have until September 1st to fully comply. Several schools have made significant changes to meet the requirements by the stated due date. Appalachian State University no longer has a chief DEI officer in its chancellor's cabinet. The school also closed its DEI office and removed its DEI page from the website, replacing it with a more general webpage offering student university resources. Other institutions like UNC, Chapel Hill, Winston-Salem State University, UNC Pembroke, UNC Asheville, North Carolina State University, North Carolina Central University, and East Carolina University have also started their process toward compliance. These actions include altering or deleting their DEI websites, closing their DEI departments while reviewing the best steps not to displace staff, reviewing how to redirect funding, or renaming their DEI departments to be more general HR specific to comply with the requirements. In other words, they're revamping it. They're like, we're done with this bullshit. We're going to wind up changing it all around, okay? And if you don't comply, I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of repercussions, but we'll see. It says, conversely, HBCUs, Elizabeth City State University, North Carolina A&T University, and Fayetteville State University have not responded to WUNC's request for a comment about their actions regarding their current ban. North Carolina's moves, specifically in higher education, are not the first. The Southern state follows others like Florida and Texas taking steps to eliminate DEI efforts, leading to many layoffs and eliminating funding for key resources. Thank you, Lord. Okay, finally, more people are waking up. More universities are waking up. Okay, now I know what some people are going to say. Okay, all of a sudden they're going to blame the white man. They're going to blame the Jew. They're going to blame this. They're going to blame that. No, it's putting the blame on ignorance. Okay, this whole DEI platform has been based on ignorance, division, separation, racism. Okay, it's not built on diversity, equality, and inclusion. It actually contradicts those three words. Okay, because they're not open to be diverse with everybody. They don't want to hear nobody's argument. Okay, they don't want to share the wealth with everybody like their equity. They don't want to do that. No, they want to take from people and give it to ones that don't deserve it. Okay? And as far as the inclusion, where's the inclusion when all you do is kick people out? You vilify people. You stop people from talking on university campuses. Okay? Mostly conservatives. Okay? And it's still going on. If your DEI is so inclusive, then why are the pro-Palestinian protesters able to vilify Jewish people or Christians or anybody else? Okay, but if Christians wanted to go out there and protest, they get shut down. If Jews want to go out there and protest, they get shut down. If Asian people want to go out there, they get shut down. It doesn't matter. You only want your DEI to benefit whoever wants to join your club. And then you let them run the gambit on how they're going to do it, and then what do you have? You have chaos. Okay? All you have is a giant group of anarchists because you don't listen to each other. And I tell you what, people, pay attention to this. With Joe Biden stepping down and putting Kamala Harris in, it's already started with the higher ups that are for this DEI. They're at each other's throats. Okay? I mean, they're already attacking Kamala Harris. Okay? I mean, Joy Reid is on her own damn racist rant. Now, Hillary Clinton's talking about she's throwing the towel in. She wants, into the ring. She wants a piece of it. Who's going to be next? If you look at what's going on with the Democratic Party, the way that the infighting's going, and the way what's going on with the school system, it's all imploding on them. It's falling apart. And what's going to wind up happening is that the more they keep it up, the more division they're going to have amongst themselves. And come election day, or, the primaries now with whoever's going to go pick up the Democrat ticket, it's going to be the same thing that happened when Donald Trump was running for president in 2016. You had, what was it? 50 freaking Republicans, and he knocked them all off. Whereas the Democratic Party started knocking each other off, and they wind up just instead of being inclusive, okay, they were more divided and they lost. And that's exactly what's going to happen again. Not that I want the Democrats to win, hell no. But for all their fighting, for all their vilification, okay, for all their wicked deeds, it's falling apart. It's coming to light. Their wicked deeds are coming to light, and the same thing is going on now in the schools, where more people are fighting back. And now with North Carolina taking a stand, this is something that more schools, these big prestigious universities, are going to say, you know what, we're going to have to follow suit. If the schools and universities in the blue states don't want to do it, that's on them. We're going to do what we got to do here, and we're going to eliminate all this garbage, and we're going to get back to the fundamental rights that every student has to learn something. Okay, not to be spoon-fed something, but to learn something the way it should be. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around, give it a thumbs up. If you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store, TrueOutlawPatriot.com. Remember, people, if you can watch all these videos so we can get my view time up. I'm waiting, hopefully any day soon, maybe in another week. The good news will come, praying to God that the channel will get monetized. Just waiting to see what YouTube says. And then, you know, we'll just keep this movement going, keep this family going and growing, you know, because it ain't over. We can't be complacent and let it slow down. We got an election coming up. We got to stay vigilant. We got to stand strong, okay? And we got to get out there and vote. Keep a close ear to the ground. Keep your eyes open, especially at the voting booths, okay? I'm sure everybody knows that. So we got to stay on it each and every day. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the children in this country, and keep praying for Donald Trump. Peace.